Chinese, and we have a very interesting talk for you guys. How you doing, Deadbeat?
I'm doing not too bad.
All right, and for our interviewees today, earlier at the OS Academy, we released a laser installation guide, and these guys have been working quietly on their own little game builds. Peppy kind of mentioned it in dev streams back that it was going to make the framework easier so we could see game modes, and here we are, guys. We have 3 developers that have been working on custom game modes, and they're going to talk about them a little bit today. We have Cold Volcano here with us. How are you doing today, man?
Fine today, thanks.
All right, and we also have Shadow, which is kind of a regular around here. How you been doing, dude?
All right, thanks.
All right, and then our third developer here, we have Andy with us. How are you doing, Andy?
Hello. Hi.
All right, and now we'll go a little bit into detail on the game modes that you guys have made. Now, the ones that we actually went over so far, we got to look at...
Detroit, your mic's dragging out a bit there.
It's dragging out a bit? Is that
Oh, there
better?
we go, there we go, there we go.
There we go, there we go. I wasn't eating my microphone, I promise. Now, anyways, back to where we were. The game modes that you guys have set up here for are, we do have the Tahos-like one, and that one, go ahead and say that name for me one more time so I don't mess it up, as everybody's waiting for me to mess it up.
Vitaru.
Vitaru, there we go. And then we... And we also have what you'd call Shape is another game mode. And then there's a third game mode that we'll try to get a little bit of information on later, but we really didn't get to cover it too well. Deadbeat kind of dropped the ball on that one.
Gee, thanks.
No, it's both of our faults there. And that one's called OSRP. All right, so without further ado, the way we're going to go ahead and do this is Andy here speaks Chinese. We have a translator for him. Everyone, how are you doing, by the way?
Doing wonderfully. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Everyone here is going to be our translator for Andy. So we'll go through our questions that we have for our developers here today, and we'll let them answer them one by one. And then after Cold Volcano and Shadow are done answering the question, we'll go ahead and turn it over to everyone, which will translate it for Andy. And that's how the flow on this is going to work. So without further ado, the first question I have to ask is, how's it been working with the new framework? I mean, us did switch from closed source to open source, and when that happened, it did open up for a lot of user customization. So how has it been working with the new framework? And Cold, I guess you're volunteered to go first.
What? Wait. Well, it's kind of easier, but sometimes because they change everything every 2 weeks or something, so...
Oh yeah, it's very fast moving. I can imagine that would get really hard to look at. I mean, I see branch logs, like, as they come out, like, for changes, masters, commit, and it forks a lot. So I can imagine that would get crazy.
Yes, so sometimes you think you have something that works in some manner, but then after those 2 weeks, it doesn't work anymore, and you're like, what doesn't it work anymore? Honestly, working with the framework has been kind of easier since the start of lazer, but right now it's on a, well, you can do it, but you cannot do it at the same time. So I guess it's easy to work with the framework it has, but not that easy.
Yeah, so it's ifs or buts. It depends on like what area of development it's in, I guess. Yeah, if things are like changing, that could be really frustrating, I'd assume.
Yeah, it gets frustrated with time. So for example, on Vitaru, the Tohosu mode that we have now, it was working before the changes they made on July, and now it's not anymore. And it gets frustrating really fast.
Oh, I can imagine. I did get to test Vitaru a little bit earlier today before we actually did the stream, and I mean, it seems pretty stable in the aspect that like it does what you want it to do so far. There's still some things like, you know, shooting kind of crashed it, but I mean, outside of that, it is really interesting, and I like that it does create quite decent patterns when you have it set up.
Yeah, so for the crashing, I guess you can blame Shadow for it. I will go away.
Yeah, speaking of which, Shadow, what do you think about the framework? How's it been working with it since you got your hands on it?
I've never programmed anything before, so I don't have anything to reference.
Ooh, so this is your maiden voyage.
Yeah, but I mean, it seems pretty, now that I know how the framework works, you could compare it to a toolbox. If you know the tools you're using, it's easy to get things done. Whereas you have, I don't know, some random tool set, you don't know what the tools do, you can't really do anything. But it's been nice, easy to get some things done.
Yeah, and like Cold Volcano was saying, do you feel that the frequent changes, is that something that's easier to stay on top of, or is it difficult to stay on top of, and has it like hindered you at all while working on the game modes?
Sometimes there are big changes that take a little bit of rewriting to adapt to, but most of it's just little changes that don't really affect us.
Nothing's been like completely rage-inducing where it's just like, oh no, I spent 5 or 6 hours on this thing and now it doesn't work.
No, nothing like that, really.
That's pretty
that's
good,
good to
really.
know.
I mean, I can only imagine how annoying it would be going through all that work and then the next day it just doesn't work at all.
All right. And everyone, if you want to go ahead and give that question out to Andy, and we can get what he's taken in on that.
OK， Andy， 刚才 Z 创的问题是那个新的这个模板，你觉得用新的模板工作怎么样？然后Volcano 回答说呢，他觉得最麻烦的地方可能就是那个从 also 之前从闭源转换成开源了，开源之后呢，那个很多地方都经常改动，然后结果就是经常今天做一个东西，然后明天突然就那个有问题了，然后重新再重新 debug 再重新编码，他觉得这个挺烦人的。然后Shadow 说这是他第一个的这个project， 他的第一个这个编程的这个大型工作，所以他的一方面挺开心挺兴奋的，但另一方面有挺多的这个顾虑的。他希望能够在未来的这个过程中一边学习一边探索。然后现在来问一下，你觉得这个到目前为止的感想如何？
是问说我要开发多久吗？还是
是问你就是那个你开发目前在新模板下工作开发的这个感想是怎么样的？
新模板的开发感想，就是跟 Shadow 说的一样，它的那个东西每次改版的时候都会变很多这样子，就是有些东西会改变很多，然后有时候会变得因为没有网络上资源不多，所以每次改版时除了从 GitHub 上去取得说改了什么东西以外，如果有些东西发现自己 debug 不了，其实是一件蛮困扰的事情这样子。
好的。Okay, so Andy said that I echo what Volcano said because I find it extremely frustrating when I have to go on GitHub every time and something that should have worked is not working, or something that was simply has been around and is suddenly changed. So that's something I have to get used to, and hopefully will maybe change in the future.
等一下，我还有说就是不过我觉得那个25这份 code 写的还不错，就是如果当做一个学习的样板的话，我觉得是非常好。
OK，
会在里面学到蛮多东西。
好的，OK，Andy also said that he thinks OS as a project, as a program, has very interesting code. It's very nicely laid out, and he likes to think of it as a learning paradigm from which he can learn about more things.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, all these projects are like works in progress, you know, and just getting to learn with it, and the fact that it's open source now and you can play with it is leagues beyond what I actually got to mess with back in the day. I mean, there was tons of people that would talk about game modes and wanted to create stuff, and you really weren't able to do as much. But now that it's open source and there is ways to get around there, you actually can get help when you need it, and it is really interesting to see what you have set up. I mean, yeah, it's still pretty far off from being anything solid, but it is interesting to see what everybody's gotten set up. With the second question, with these things still being work in progress, is what made you guys decide to tackle the respective games that you're trying to create? I mean, you have the Toho style S game on one hand, and then you have the Shape is what you're calling it, but it's kind of reminiscent of a Project Diva. But yes, Shape is what you definitely want to call it there. What made you guys want to do that? These respectable game modes.
I just wanted to see if it could be done. So back when it first went open source and standard got kind of implemented, I started messing around and see what could be done now.
You see, I can kind of understand that. There's always a fun little... It's always kind of fun just seeing if you can actually do something, just seeing what you can get away with doing. And yeah, I can definitely understand that. Has it definitely been like a fun learning experience? Like, is there anything else aside from Toho style game mode that you would have done, or was that the one that you definitely were dead set on doing?
I'm not a very creative person, so I kind of saw that it wasn't anywhere, and I just kind of messed around and see if I could get like a prototype and just kind of have something so I could be like, hey, I made this thing.
Well, I mean, it's working pretty good so far. I mean, there are obviously a couple of hiccups, as with any work in progress, but I mean, gameplay is actually quite fun.
It does show a very good proof of concept. That much is certain.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the idea itself is 7, 8 years old. Just seeing like some sort of progress with it is just like, this is amazing. I love this.
Yeah, it's been around for quite some time. Cold Volcano, what about you? What made you want to try to work on these game modes and try to make them a reality?
Oh well, first I blame Shadow again, because I joined his Discord server, and then suddenly I was looking at Bitaru Dev, and it was, oh, what is this? And I went to see it, and Shadow told me, oh, so this is like a new game mode for the new lazer client, and I feel like, hey, I kind of want to do this because it looks cool. I haven't played something like this before. I hadn't played Tohosu at that point, so that got my interest just because it was a new game mode. And so I started writing something for it, but it didn't follow with what was going. But looking at how the laser stuff was getting done, it kind of interested more. I got more interested because, well, it was laser, it was us. I wanted to play what I was doing on us, and it was a rare feeling in that moment.
So how long would you say you've been working on the game mode? Like, has it been quite a long project for you, or is it something you just recently kind of added into? I mean, I remember when we were talking beforehand, you guys kind of all worked together on trying to get these things to go.
Well, it's been like, well, almost from the start. Like, I joined 1 or 2 months after Shadow and Horror Loop started, but I've been there since almost the beginning.
Yeah, we started. Well, back in December last year, I knew I wanted to try something. That's when I started tinkering. And then Jorolf showed up in January this year, I think. And he kind of showed me how to actually get things done.
Yes. Jorl was a lot of. Jorl was helping a lot in those days. Nowadays, it's just lurking, kind of.
Yeah, and Andy also helped you guys with your respective like projects, correct?
Well, kind of. Actually, Andy didn't help with Bitaru. He was working on Deep Shape, I guess.
Yes. Okay,
And
so
he finished way before we started, I guess.
okay, and then Everyone, if you'd like to go ahead and give him that. See, if he didn't touch on those too much, he's working on the RP one, and I mean, there's a little bit of an image on that one, but I don't really know too much about it. So, you said he did help with shape a little bit, though?
He
Yeah,
did the initial prototype.
Yeah, he
the
created the
initial
original
prototype?
version.
Okay. All right. Well, then definitely go ahead and ask him why he wanted to tackle like a Project Diva style game, if you would, Everyone.
OK，这个问题现在是那个为什么他们会选择挑战这样的他们当前的 Toho 和 Project Diva 这两个游戏的这种游戏的style， 直接这么说吧，那个然后。Shadow 先回答说，他那个一开始只是说看到这个开源编码，觉得啊这个挺有意思的，想试试看可行的一些东西，然后他就基本上就是那个捣鼓的就开始做他的自己的部分了。Volcano 自己呢，他没有什么也没有什么特别的，他只是说看了进来以后，那个就想着尽自己一份力，然后就这样就加入到团队里面了。至于他们自己的这个做的这个 Bitaru 和Shape 这两个新的这个游戏模式上，他们自己也是就基本上就是说我就是在这里那个就浑水摸鱼就进来了，不过也看到自己能够发挥的地方，就在各方面也想尽量去做一些东西。然后现在想问一下你关于呢关于就是说你是对这个是怎么看的？你是有没有什么这个自己的这个进来的看点 ？And sorry, Ztrod, one more thing. What did you want me to ask again? I kind of got lost on track there.
Okay, I was just wanting to know why he wanted to tackle like a Project Diva style gameplay.
OK， 然后 Ztrod 想再问你一下，就为什么你会想挑战这个 Project Diva 这个 style 的这个游戏模式
Yeah, back when he like initially did the first prototype for it.
对，当初你做它的第一个初期的模板时候，Andy 你还是在静音状态。
不好意思
Ooh, his connection
因为
might be.
说
Okay, there it goes.
Hello，
Hello.
Hey,
原本设计的原因
说吧。
继续吗？哦，原本设计的理念只是因为说那个东西那个模式单纯只是比较好移到欧苏那个新的 framework 上面。
是的。
但是后来的话，就是因为那个，但是后来觉得说，因为就是比较想要制作自己原创的游戏，一些，因为就是这种，因为欧苏 Diva 其实花钱就可以买到，所以我没有必要做这样的事情这样子。
OK。
然后目前的话，欧苏的理念的话，会把它那个会贴在那个 Twitch 上面。
I feel like he's having some internet issues.
Yeah, I'm thinking that might be a possibility as well.
I think we should
I
move
think
on.
he's trying to pay something.
Yeah.
Andy 还有别的要说的吗
Hello，
Hello,
什么
hi.
没有没有，这样就 OK 了。
Okay.
That's
So
okay.
okay. So Andy said that well, he originally just wanted to see because he thought that Pradiva style would be something that's very suited for O's, and also that he felt like it's interesting style on its own. But he then thought that Project Diva, it's the framework just you can just spend money and buy it and implement it over. It's not really something that he has spent like countless days to working on it. So 然后现在就在做别的东西了是吗？
Okay.
What's
So-
I'm trying to ask him？你现在Andy，你现在在那个你现在在做别的这个工作上面的时候，就不再做那个Project Diva 那个游戏模式了是吧？
对，目前那个 Project Diva 游戏的 source code 已经交给那个 Shadow， 不过他的
Okay.
code 因为重写的时候，我觉得 that's okay。
Okay, so Andy's no longer working on the that Project Diva game mode anymore. He has handed over the code over to Shadow.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we knew that he had handed it over. I was just wanting to know, and you had answered it pretty much that he just wanted to see a mode like that. Our next question is going to be kind of easy to answer here, as we've kind of gotten that information. So there's really no reason to touch on it, in all honesty, because we were asking if any of you guys had dev work prior to this, and I know for a fact Shadow said that he'd never done anything like this before. Cold Volcano, have you ever had any prior development work before us, or was us your first venture as well?
Well, it's been like kind of my first development work. I haven't done many things outside of school, so I guess it's my very first real working on something. So I don't think I've done many things, just the school projects, and that's all. Bitaru was my first getting to real world programming, and I feel that's pretty much it.
Okay, and Everyone, could you just ask simply if he's had any dev work prior to this as well?
OK， 这个现在问题是你在当前的工作之前有没有什么这个编码的经验吗？然后刚才was it Volcano who just answered？ one second. Zichuan,
Yes.
was it Volcano who just answered？
Yeah, that was Volcano that just answered.
OK， 然后 Volcano 就说那个这是他第一个这个正式的这个大型工作，因为他之前都是在学校里那个上课的时候那个自己学的，所以这个在欧斯这边工作是他第一个这个应该算是比较正规的工作吧。现在想问一下你有没有之前的编码经验？如果有的话是在哪里
I just graduated from Taipei University College, and I'm studying computer science. And I'm not really do large projects. I just do some small projects.
Oh, okay,
That's
cool.
all.
Yeah, and to clear up a little bit of confusion, just because it seems like that's kind of what's going on here. Yeah, these are all unofficial game modes. This is just like these guys have just been doing some really cool stuff in the community, trying to build up game modes, as it's called, community game modes. Guys. I do believe that even though these things are in really wonky test states at this moment, you guys do you do have like downloads so people can try it out, but it's broken. It's like ouch broken, but it's still kind of neat to see.
I wouldn't say it's that bad. They're definitely playable.
I'm not saying it's unplayable, but
they're work in progress.
yeah.
Yeah, we have installers for Shape and Vitaru, and we made the installer so it should easily be able to, if anyone wanted to use it for their own game mode, if they made one, they can just change it out for theirs.
And I'm going to assume, because some of these questions we can go over quite quickly, all this stuff was after OS went open source, I'm assuming, correctly? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's totally fine then. Now, here's a question. Like, say you guys do get this thing set up, and it's kind of a little bit what we can go into on it is if this does take off. Say, for example, about a year and a half down the line, you manage to get this thing coded up to a decent standard. Do you feel like it'll probably take longer than that? And I apologize if coming off is like not giving enough time, but if it did take off, would you guys like? Where would you go from there if people actually started like playing this game mode and whatnot? I mean, as you can see right now, we have some people kind of saying what would go on with possibilities, but what would you guys do if it took off?
Well, revise the game mode if there's anything wrong with it, really. And then, I don't know, make another one.
So basically finish this one and then get another one going.
Yeah.
So basically the end goal is just to finish it and then move on from there.
Just see how many different types of proof of concepts on rhythm games you could do.
Yeah. Adding controller support to the framework might be cool. That way, you could plug in like a Rock Band guitar or something, and then you could program a game mode for that.
Yeah, that is a possibility. That is a possibility. Okay, so let me look through these questions because, like I said, we've been kind of rambling a little bit, so we did kind of touch base on quite a few things that were already set up. Okay, yeah, this one we can go ahead and ask. Debbie, why don't you take a question and start from, do you have planned release?
You watched at a really bad time. I'll take next one.
Okay, no problem then. So this question's for all three of you, and I guess it can go to all three of the different game modes that you guys are trying to create. Do you have any sort of planned release in mind for these things, or is this more of a hobby and learning experience for you both? Like, all three of you actually. Do you actually plan to see it finished, or is it something that you're just doing for fun?
I plan on seeing Daru all the way through. Shape as well I would like to finish. Although it is kind of just something I do on the side. I don't like wake up, code, go to sleep. I do other things too, like play games.
Yeah.
So,
I would actually be amazed if you did basically just wake up, eat, code, eat, sleep, repeat.
Oh, he's not peppy.
Roasted.
It's sad thing that I never reply to that.
Cold Volcano, you can't be roasted too much because now you've got to answer. You're on the spot.
Oh man.
It's about to get hot.
Well, I like to see Vitaru finished since, well, we started it. I guess we need to finish right now.
Whoa, what's going on there? And now
The
you're really
connection was
quiet.
like really frigid.
Okay. So where was I? Oh, so yeah. So about Shay, like I think we need to finish it too, but I guess we are. Well, I want to see them done the short time. But yeah, I think I want to see them as fast as possible, like, playable. If we can get it ranked in somehow or some way, I guess I want to do it also. But well, yeah.
All right, and everyone, if you can go ahead and ask him if he has a planned release for his OSRP or if it's just a hobby and learning experience for him.
OK，然后刚才问的问题是，你们现在在做的这些东西，这个各自的这个游戏模式中，那个是不是有没有把它 公开这个作为正式模式上线的打算。然后Shadow 说，他觉得有一个打算的，对于比塔鲁来说，因为他那个在上面投入了不少心血，这一点Koto 看到也一样的，因为他们俩都觉得是既然都凡事有始就有终，善始善终比较好嘛。至于 Shape 他们就觉得说是先搁置一下也无妨，毕竟自己他们都有别的事情要做，在现实生活中。然后 Ztra 刚才想问你说，你现在在做的这个 OSRP，有没有类似的，比如说是打算将它正式上线，将它正式作为一个游戏模式推行的这样的打算？如果有的话，打算在什么时候把它这个推出呢
？Of course, I the public and everyone can play it, and because I'm regenerating my code is too messy, so 算我用中文好了，因为那个目前，因为目前那个之前有一些实验性的程式码，然后导致目前的程式很乱，所以我会重新整理完程式以后，然后再可能在这边再去找几个人，然后一起把这个模式完成。然后上线时间的话，大概是在，好，你先反应。
你说。
然后呢，上线了，然后可能会等到那个215的编辑器做完以后，才会开始上线。
Okay, so Andy said that yeah, he definitely has plans for OSRP. What he has with the problem is that because of earlier issue, I'm guessing with like some sort of time sequence coding, that he found that there were like incompatible bugs between his current codes and the ones that existed before. So he's trying to figure that part out first, regenerate those codes that conflict, and once he does finish debugging, he'll then find some other fellas to join him on the project and hopefully get his new game mode he's working on up and running officially when the OS editor is finished, according to him.
He's looking to get a team going.
Yep,
That's
what he
pretty
said.
cool. Good luck with that.
That's pretty ambitious, actually.
就是他们觉得说你这个挺有想法的，祝你好运。
Oh, thank you.
Anyway,
Right.
so we should probably continue moving on. So, Shadow kind of talked a bit about this as well, but what sort of other game modes would you be interested in creating once your current ones are done?
I have no idea what I would like to do. I had an idea for a game mode that's sort of all drawing, I guess. Like you have a tablet and it's all about moving the cursor in time with the music. So basically standard with relax, but it also takes into account like the velocity that you're moving at, how close to the path that would be outlined you are.
The first thing I could think of was
Shadow.
like a rhythmic connect the dots.
Or
Yeah.
Guitar Man. That's what it sounds like to me. I played a lot of music games. And when you said it was like when you were following the intensity and you have a set thing, Guitar Man's instantly what came to mind, except you followed the lines with the analog sticks and that.
That's about all I got for ideas.
What about you, Cold Volcano? Do you have any other game modes you'd like to work on?
Well, right now I think kind of. There's a game that I've been planning to do that is kind of combining many and standard with somehow movement and screen and some kind of 3D stuff, but I'm not really sure how to call it or what the game mode will be. But I have some ideas there.
That kind of reminds me of a feature request from a while ago. I think someone was talking about like a way to combine modes, so you play like two modes at once. So like you'd have like standard on one side of the screen and mania on the other side. Or...
Yes, that was my idea before doing a game mode that combined all the four of them, so you can switch in between of the song. But it's kind of it feels hard to do, but I haven't done anything, so I better not talk about it.
The closest thing I can think to that is having like different lines, like column lines with falling fruit, and you have to move like the Don or something, then click on time. Well, I don't know. Oh, that sounds confusing to think of.
Yeah, that's why I haven't think of it much, but I guess I'll do it sometime in the future, maybe.
And I pretty sure Andy kind of gave out what they were wanting to go for earlier with the last question they asked in that, because they wanted to finish up that and then start with a team. So I think we can pass him on the end of that question, as I feel like that's what his main focus is going to be. Or do you feel like we should go ahead and touch base on that, because we are running?
The idea behind that was he wanted to do a team, but I think the team was also involved with RP.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of interested to know if he has ideas for other game modes to work on once he has this team assembled as well.
All right, Everin, just go ahead and make this one a little bit of a shorter question, though. Just ask him if he finishes what he's working on now, would he be willing to work on a different game mode, or what kind of game mode would he like to work on?
OK，Andy，就是他们想问你的是，如果你在把当期的工作做完了以后，有没有想说去做一个新的游戏模式的？就有没有什么新的这个构思和思路，你想去做，把它实现出来的？
目前的话，大概只有P 上面，然后目前的话，暂时还没有新的概念出来。
OK，
顶多就是针对20P 进行加强。
Andy said that basically he has no further plans right now. He just wants to finish what he's doing and make sure that it's in his best shape when it does.
All right, that's understandable. Okay, and we're actually going to move to this next question as we're running kind of short on time, but this one's kind of important. It'll kind of go back on a few things. But do you guys think it might have been easier for waiting for Lazer to finish before working on these game modes?
I mean, definitely, but I mean, it's not so bad right now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's definitely easy to work with. And then the aspect that you do have people that are willing to help you. Like if you run into something, I'm sure that you've been able to like go and cross-reference other people and get help with that. And it's cool to see that people are taking advantage of like the new tools that are available and the ability to work with this new framework, even though it's in its testing phases and stuff, and be able to, you know, come up with something that is different from what we're used to seeing and is somewhat usable, I guess, to a point.
Yeah. Slightly off topic, but I know someone else is using the framework alone to make their own game, which is kind of shows how well it's written.
Oh yeah, like the main core is really clean and user-friendly for the most part, from what I've heard and experience-wise, and then like seeing what you guys have done just in the small amount of time that it's been open source is pretty interesting too.
What about you, Volcano? Do you think it would have been easier, or do you enjoy the challenge of working side by side with it?
It would be way easier if we had waited for it. But right now, doing it as the OS progress, I think it's better for us, since, well, we get to know what to do, and we have more experience with how stuff works. So right now, I guess we did a nice decision on starting before it is complete. But as for difficulty, I guess it would have been easier if we had waited.
All right, and I guess we could go ahead and ask everyone to go ahead and ask him that. Do you feel like it would have been easier waiting for laser to finish?
OK， Andy 他们现在问题是，你觉不觉得如果要是说 OS Laser 那个先完成的话，这对你们的工作都会有让它都会变得更容易一些？
我觉得会是这样子，没错。但或等到OS Laser 完成以后才开始制作的话，就是没有像现在有办法那么快制作。然后，你先翻译好。
刚才我没听到，你再说一遍可以吗？
不好意思，就是说如果就是在等到OS Laser 制作完以后才制作这个模式的话，对我来说开发上会比较方便。但是这样子的话会拖到很晚才开发完成。
Okay, so Andy said that yes, he does feel like if those laser finishes first and then he starts, it would make his progress a lot smoother. But this, of course, would also drag on the finishing date a lot later. So he doesn't. He also wants to echo that.
Well, I understand that, and it's very admirable that he has a finish date in mind that he's ready to try to commit to, and that's pretty cool. Because I've definitely messed with stuff now. My game code experience is nowhere near is decent, and I wouldn't even really call it code experience. I mean, I used to mess with stuff in Fighter Maker 2K, so like not exactly developing anything really. It's just, you know, like a fighting engine, sprites, stuff like that, move sets, nothing crazy. But that is really interesting on that, guys. Now we are getting really close to the end here.
Can I take this one?
Go for it, Deadbeat. Wrap her on up for us.
Alright, so just quickly going on to this. One other quick thing. I'll probably stop with the shape soon, and I'll probably swap to Vitaru for a bit. So the gameplay will disappear for a bit, but that will come back. But back to the questions. Do you guys mind going in a bit to how these game modes actually convert? Because Shape I got the hang of pretty quickly, but what about the other ones like Vitaru and RP?
What do you mean, like how you play?
Like how
no,
the
no.
standard
Like
maps
how-
convert to the
like-
game modes?
Yeah, how does it read the standard game file to convert and create objects as you have it set? Is it like, does it just base it off an axis point where the map object is, or is it more like, I know you said some of it has to do with hit sounding, but like, would you go into detail for those that might be interested in knowing how those convert?
So for Vitaru, each hit sound corresponds to a different pattern that it will throw when it hits, when you would normally, as if it was in standard, when you would hit the note, it instead throws a pattern. And the object placement is, if it's just the normal one where it's large, it takes up the entire screen, it's just wherever it would be on the playfield in standard. If it's the Tohosu mode one where it's elongated, if you take a little standard playfield and attach it to the top, that's where all the locations correspond to on it.
Yeah, I was noticing that with like slider objects and stuff as I was seeing it, like the blast would like bounce a couple times, and at every repeat it would send out waves. So like, are the patterns that come out, are they set up to certain hit sounds? Is that what gives off certain patterns, or okay? And with the speed bullets that you see coming out of there, what dictates those?
I think it's whistle.
Whistle? Okay. So it's heavily hit sound based there. So custom map sets might not work too great with it, depending on if the mapper used a proper sound sample or not. I guess
Word would have a hell of a time with that.
Yeah, that would definitely be a little bit on the interesting side. And shape is like a 1-1 convert from standard, basically, right? And just like Tycho with 4.
Well, I want to kind of mention now that converting maps from standard and native maps will be different for both modes. So when we do native maps, it won't be hit sound based. You can pick whatever pattern you make or want and assign it
cool.
whatever hit sound.
So you could be absolutely evil.
Yeah.
In theory.
Same with shape. I wanted it so you could pick any of the different shapes and assign a.
So you're not only trying to like create development for the game mode, you're also trying to make a functioning editor for it as well? Or at least shortcuts that would like allow you to edit it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. All right, Deadbeat, if you want to hit them with that last bit. Nope. Did you just say no?
I'm kind of busy.
Okay. Not a problem. All right, then. So we know basically how they convert. Everyone, I guess we'll do this last one here, and then I'll wrap it up. If you can ask him how RP converts. I know that's probably going to be really hard to translate, but basically we just want to know the algorithm that it reads from, or if it's all standalone. I don't know with RP. We really didn't get to, outside of seeing it played, I really didn't get to demo it too much, so.
Yeah, I got it. Andy，他们现在问的是最后一个问题是，你的2P 打算怎么样和这个 Old Standard 这样的现有模式接轨？就是说，他们就是现在不是说这个 Standard 这个模式的这个图可以被转换到其他的模式中去吗？那这个你有没有打算是把这样的一个兼容性也在你的2P 中应用起来，还是说你有什么其他的打算？
目前的话是希望。目前的话是能够从或者是太古或者是 Mania 中转过来，但是目前遇到比较复杂的问题是，在转换上会有位置的问题，然后还有一点是需要整理，有些规则还没有整理出来，所以会等到
Okay, so Andy said that he has some preliminary plans, but he also faces some very realistic issues right now because some things with positioning of the objects and that the conversion will likely see different rule for different game modes. So he is still very unsure of that.
Oh, okay. So it's still kind of an up in the air thing. He needs to. Oh, well, yeah, that's totally understandable. All right, guys. Well, I'd like to thank you so much. And for those watching the stream right now, you can see some
some of me failing.
Yeah, some Deadbeat playing Vitaru, not very well, but you can check that out. And we will be wrapping this one up as we're getting close to the end here. I would like to thank everybody that came out. And just another disclaimer, guys, these are unofficial game modes. They are being made by the community for fun. And hopefully you'll be able to test them out as time goes on.
There are commands in chat if you guys want. There's Shape and Vitaru, and they'll take you to the respective GitHub links where you guys can download these yourself. They are really fun.
Yeah, so you can test them out if you'd like to. Oh no, Cold Volcano, you're not getting away from extra questions. We just don't stream those anymore. There's way too many people in here for you not to answer questions. You're not getting away. But yeah, you guys can test them out. We'll definitely have links for it as well when we put this over to YouTube. And if you watch the VOD on this, I'm pretty sure Deadbeat will have something set up to where you can grab stuff as well. I'd like to thank Andy, Cold Volcano, and Shadow for coming out today. You guys, a little bit of a slow one. Definitely, you could loosen up a little bit. It's not as serious, I guarantee you. But thank you so much for showing us your hard work. And I really hope to see it go into more fruition as time goes forward.
Help me.
Thanks for having us.
All right. And remember, guys, Rhythm's only a click away. And we'll see you next time. We actually went 2 minutes over.